Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, I'm Sana Nazir and this is the 9th lecture of English 4. Today I will be talking about how to present an argument and how we can write a personal statement. What is the best way and what are the tips which you can follow to write your argument or you write your personal statement. First of all, what is personal statement and what it should have? If you talk about your personal statement, it's the best way to show your passion for your chosen subject and let your institution you are applying to know you are the perfect match of their course. And if you talk about the argument, then our argument in simple terms is a claim plus support for the claim. Whatever you don't like, whatever you feel like needs improvement, or whatever you think that it's important to discuss with people in your way, that would be the kind of argument which you will write on the paper, and make sure that you use language which indicates that you are forming an argument. So the best way you can present that argument is to share your views in simple language and to motivate others. So what are those 8 things you can do to make your personal statement stand out? The first thing that you need to do is plan before you write. Whenever you start writing, whenever you start discussing your any sort of argument, whenever you want to write, always plan before writing. First of all, decide what you want to write, why you want to write, how you want to write, and what you need to write. First of all, answer all those questions that are in your mind so that you can write a good argument. So whatever you want to write, just plan it before you write. First of all, answer all of your questions which are your present in your mind so that you can write all of the questions answer in your whatever you want to write. So when you know we are eager to jump in to start writing, but as the old phrase goes, failing to plan is planning to fail. Before you start, briefly outline the points you want to make in your personal statement and make sure you are answering the questions what, why, how. What do you want to study? Why do you want to study? And how do your skills and past experiences prove this? So before writing all those things, if you will answer all these questions so that you can understand as well as write in a good manner. So before writing all those things, first answer your question that are present in your mind, then answer the question of the reader who's going to read the argument. So I hope that you got the point which I want to discuss here is that plan your things before start writing. Then the second thing is format correctly. Now what you need to format correctly, let's talk about that. Carefully formatting will make your personal statement appear neat and professional. Always keep one thing in your mind. Whenever you start writing, whenever you write something for your reader, if you are writing clearly, if you are really careful for the statement which you are going to write, that would be a share of your professional that you are really professional. To do this, separate it into paragraphs. Make sure to include an introduction and conclusion. For example, in introduction you are going to explain the basic things about your topic or your statement, relevant information about your topic and statement, and then In the second paragraph, you're going to write the details of all those statements. Then in the third paragraph, why you are interested and how you demonstrated this. Answer this question in the third paragraph. Then your hobbies and interest, that includes your relevant work experiences, like where are you interested and what are your hobbies, as well as the interest, and then conclusion. It is important that each paragraph follow nicely into the next. So if you will answer all those questions that are relevant, and if you are before writing this details of your experiences and your interest, if you will write the basic things of your whole academic activities, so you can answer the questions that comes up with the reader's mind. So next thing is, make your introduction clear and direct. Grab the attention of your reader from the start with a strong opening sentence highlighting your main skills as well as outlining why you are applying to this course. Then it is imperative that you are specific and get to the point quickly. Don't spend time thinking up to catchy gimmick for your first line, and definitely don't use the cliche "this is what I have wanted to do since I was little." These things wouldn't impress admissions officers and all over you're applying anywhere. But if you're really struggling on how to start off an admission application, firstly, application builders give excellent advice on how to give about it. They can help from there. So a lot of people find it easier to write the other paragraph first and write the introduction and conclusion at the end. One trick to make your personal statement flow better is to link the introduction and conclusion. So include examples, but make sure that they are relevant. Not just examples, whatever you are going to write, make sure that is relevant with the thing you are writing for. Of course, it's great if you have done lots of extracurricular activities, but remember to relate them back to the course. If they aren't relevant, don't include them. If you are going to write all the irrelevant things, all those things which are not important to discuss or which are not important to add in that statements, so it means that you are just wasting your time or just wasting your words. Put the personal in personal statement. Making your application personal, ensuring it doesn't sound insincere or generic, is the winning trick for your personal statement. Make sure what makes you unique. Don't be afraid to think a little outside of the box. Just avoid quotes or from people or admissions tutors wants to hear what you have to say, and like all these examples. Then if you have done your research, brag about it. What are the details of the statement? This sounds obvious, but when writing a personal statement, it is important to show your passion for the subject. If you have read any related book, talk briefly about what you learned from them and why they have developed your interest in the subject. If you have taken the time to read up on the subject, it shows admissions tutors you are eager to expand your knowledge. Although you should demonstrate your knowledge of the course and how you have already started relevant research and readings, there is no need for you to talk about everything you have ever read that may be slightly relatable. As ever, selectiveness is key. 4,000 characters really isn't very much, and isn't important not to waste them by rambling or by showing off. So next point we have to discuss is make sure that your conclusion is brief and informative. You have to make your conclusion brief, but make sure that you are making it informative also. Because your conclusion is your final chance to make you an impression on the admissions tutor. If you talk about just the statement which you're going to add for that, anything, whatever you're going to write in your conclusion, you have to sum up all those things. You don't need to introduce any other new thing. You don't need to add any irrelevant thing in the conclusion. You have to sum up all the things which you have discussed in the introduction or different previous paragraphs. So you have to sum up here in the conclusion, so that make sure that you are all discussing all those things once again, but in a different form, in a different way, or in a different style. Use it to sum up and explore them themes you have mentioned previously and apply them in a wider context. Your context is the most important thing in that discussion, in the conclusion part, because in conclusion you have to tell your reader that what you are exactly trying to do, and what is the best way you can avoid from all other things. So as mentioned before, that it's quite nice to link your conclusion to your introduction paragraph. Refer back to something you said in your first paragraph and demonstrate how you have shown this throughout your personal statement. And remember that the conclusion doesn't need to be long. A sentence or two will be fine. You don't need to write a kind of summary in that conclusion. You don't need to discuss all the things again and again in your conclusion. You just need to do one thing, and that is to sum up all of the things which you have discussed before. So don't try to share all those things again and again, discuss all those things again and again. Just sum up all the things which you have discussed in the previous section. So just if you are done with your all things, then proofreading is very important. Why? Because in proofreading you just can reread all the things which you have written in the text, but while reading you have to concentrate that is there any mistake which you have made, or is there anything which is left and which is a kind of like an unsaid. So proofreading can help you out to highlight if you have made any mistake. So proofreading will be the best way to highlight all those mistakes, or it will help you out to discuss all those things. If you can have a time, then you can remove all those things which you have wrote in a invalid way. So proofread when you are done. We can't stress this enough. Check through your personal statement, then send it to a friend or family member to check through. It's extremely easy to miss out mistakes in your own work. I still remember there was a friend of mine, and she was doing masters with me, and she wasn't having good writing skills. So whenever she used to write any kind of thing which is meant to be sent to the teacher or any other person, so she used to send it to me first, so that I can check out all the things which she has written in her statement, or I can tell her that if she has made any kind of mistake. So the worst thing you can have in a personal statement is spelling mistakes. Not just spelling mistakes, grammatical mistakes, your punctuation marks mistakes. So you have to be focused on whatever you have written, and proofreading is the best way to find out all those mistakes which you have made. So after writing your whole statement, just proofread it, just review it, so that you can find out the mistakes and you can correct all those mistakes. It's either it's a kind of spelling mistake, it's a grammatical mistakes, and if you can find out all those mistakes, then you can improve those all mistakes as well. So this was all from my side. I hope whatever I have discussed today is clear. Let's have a quick overview that what we have discussed today. Today we have talked about that how you can present your argument, or you can write a personal statement. The first thing which I have discussed is personal statement for you, and it's a kind of claim, or you can say a support to that claim. So in your introduction, before writing anything, you just have to plan some things, that how you have to write and what is the best way to write and how you can write in a well-mannered structure. And before writing all those things, just answer your questions which are in your mind, that what you need to write, why you need to write, how you need to write, and how you can write all those things, so that you can present all those things in a good manner. So the second thing was format correctly. You need to form all those statements correctly. Just focus on your format, that how you're writing your statements and personal statements. In introduction, you need to introduce some basic things, and then paragraph 1, 2, 3 and 5. But make sure that in the conclusion paragraph, just need to conclude all those things. And also make sure that you are clear and direct in your writing style. And then if you think that some things are not important or something is important, then add that thing, but make sure that that is relevant thing to include. Then personal things should be avoided, but if that's personal, that keep in a personal statement. And if you have done research, then brag about it. Then conclusion, that should be brief but informative. Your conclusion should be informative, or like I have said, that you don't need to add any new point in your conclusion, or you don't need to add any new thing in your conclusion. You just need to sum up all those things which you have discussed in the previous section of your writing. So if you're done with your writing, then just make sure that you have discussed all the things which are relevant to discuss, and which whatever you have discussed today is relevant. If there isn't anything that is not important to discuss in your writing. Then your last point, that is proofreading. If you have discussed writing style with anyone, then obviously he will let you know that what is the best way to write. So proofreading will help you out to find out if there is any mistake in that style. So proofreading will help you out to find out some mistakes in your writing, if there would be any mistake. Like I have given you example of my friend, that a friend of mine, he used to send her everything before sending to a teacher, so that I can find out if there is any mistake or if there is anything that she needs to improve. So in the same way, if you want to share with your friends or someone else who is really ready to help you out, or he's really very competitive, so you can send him all of your details, so that he can tell you that what are the mistakes which you have made, if you have made any mistake. So this was all from my side. I hope whatever I have discussed today is clear. But if there is any question in your mind, then you may ask in the discussion room. I'm always there to answer your all questions, but please make sure that you're asking the relevant questions. Okay, we are done with the 9th lecture today, and in the next lecture I will discuss another topic. So in the previous all those topics which we have discussed in the previous lectures, like all kind of your essays and basically the kind of writing, I hope all those lectures are clear. But still, if there is any question in your mind regarding all those lectures, then you may also ask there, and I'll make sure that I'll be sending all those assignments to you people on portal on a time. So thanks for listening, thanks for your time. And one thing which is important to discuss is that take care of yourself and your family as well. Don't go anywhere out if you don't need to go anywhere out. Please don't go anywhere. Just stay at home and take care of yourself and your family as well. Have a good day.